thing I always forget.
Go live.
Go live on YouTube. There's already 7 viewers waiting. Oh, nice. That's super sweet.
That's like the highest we've ever had.
And then, while they can hear us, now they can see us.
We can go live.
Now we are live.
Dang Wilders. Is that what I'm supposed to yell now?
Yeah, Wilders, profilers, stylers.
And first issuers. Mm-hmm. Because that's the one I came up with, and I like that one better.
I like it.
Welcome, of course, to your Thursday night crisis talk. This is Wait, Did I Roll a Wild? A Marvel Crisis Protocol vlog. I, of course, am the guy who has to now sit in this chair.
Accurate.
I am Chuck, and I'm joined once again by my comrade, my cohort, my co-conspirator, the CEO, editor-in-chief, supreme ruler, and reptilian overlord of the Professional Casual Network, and the guy with the computer, Tim.
That is how I am most useful. I bring a computer, and...
it's true. And you drive 13 hours without any help.
Both ways. Uphill, all alone. No one even offered to help.
It's true. But we have a very special guest with us tonight.
We do have a
arguably the biggest guest that we've had since the last guest.
I would, actually completely agree with that.
I would agree wholeheartedly with that. Tim, bring him in.
All right, we have all the way from, I think, Arizona, it's Mr. Brendon Franz from AdeptiCon. One of the first people we met. And one of the most near and dear to our hearts people that we met.
Hardest working guy at AdeptiCon in the area which we were also in.
100%.
Easily.
At least in that 20-foot area.
Within that 20-foot area. Yeah, absolutely. Hardest worker. I mean...
I actually came up with a drinking game for you guys. It may or may not be lethal. I cannot verify that you'll even make it. But every time I buzz through the back of your camera, take a drink.
We're not... Mitch, don't...
You might not make it through a game.
Yeah, so first off, I feel like that's something we absolutely have to do. When we get 55-star reviews on Wait, Did I Roll a Wild, on a combination of all platforms, whether that's Spotify, Audible, or Apple Podcasts.
Head over to the Fifth Legion, leave them a 5-star review for for Wait, Did I Roll a Wild?
Actually, yes, if you could do that. Fifth Legion, go and check them out.
Yeah.
And
Fifth Trooper?
Fifth Trooper. Legion. We constantly combine
the Fifth Trooper. Listen, I'm a very casual Legion
Jay
player.
is going to be upset.
Yeah, I know. I'm going to be fired again. That's fine.
This is going to be a rocky relationship, I can tell.
But yeah, go leave a 5-star review for the Fifth Trooper podcast, but make sure the content of that 5-star review is for Wait, Did I Roll a Wild?
Has to be a 5-star review, though. Here's why. They won't delete a 5-star review.
Correct.
It hurts the algorithm too much to get rid of it. Yep. But forever imprinted there will be the Wait, Did I Roll a Wild review. I highly recommend everybody going to this. It's worked out well for other shows here at the network.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yep.
It's like a reverse raid. But like self-promotion. I think I like this.
We go out there and we spread positivity.
But if Jay's asking, I don't like it. Yeah. If Jay's asking.
It is a selfless self-promotion.
Yeah, no. I was running all the Star Wars Legion content there at AdeptiCon. Had a couple of people helping me out. Obviously, part of the AdeptiCon staff and working close with the guys who ran all the MCP things. And obviously, it was neighbors to you guys.
Yeah.
I think we kind of met up afterwards and started talking. And I was just like, yeah, these guys are kindred spirits. So we should probably talk.
Very much so, 100%.
That's how it works.
So tell us a little bit about your history with conventions. Was this one of your first Adepticons? Have you done other conventions and stuff in the past? And what has your kind of whole, in an abridged version, what has your experience been so far on the larger minis game convention circuit?
Yeah, so I'll keep it short for your sake, because I think you've heard it before. But
we were pretty enthralled hearing it, to be perfectly honest.
It was. You were a great audience. But basically, this is my second Adepticon. I started in 2019 after there was kind of a call out, hey, we need somebody to do this. And so we packed up a 15-passenger van full of terrain and drove nonstop 30 hours from Phoenix to AdeptiCon and made that happen. This year we had a little more. This year we had a little more lead time, so we didn't need to maybe resort to tactics like that. But I mean, everything from Boy Scouts to high-profile catering to running LAN parties when I was in the Air Force, and then when I was in the Air Force, I started judging for WoW TCG. And then
massive fan of the WoW TCG right here, by the way.
It was such a good game.
Hard. The raids were just
such
incredible.
A good game. I may or may not have promos around here. I can't grab them quickly, but yeah. So I mean, I love that game. I love that program. I learned a lot about judging and event organizing for gaming through that community. I got involved with White Wolf, doing some play testing and demo for them. Got involved with Asmodee demos as well, and then Legion came out, and it was just a perfect fit. Some of the early events we saw, needed some more love, especially in the terrain department there, and so I got involved with some of the core Legion people there, and then next thing I know, after running AdeptiCon in 2019, I ran basically every major Star Wars Legion event in North America, including Toronto. So flew up, ran Worlds at their headquarters in FFG, and then did Gen Con, and Jay had me run an event that he hosted up in Syracuse. Just a 5th Trooper put on an event up there in the convention center in that area, and it was a great venue. So unfortunately, that got canceled by the global jerk that shut everything down. So AdeptiCon was definitely a return for me, and something that I put a lot of passion into. And obviously, you saw me running around like a maniac because we had a small staff. I had a great staff, but everybody wanted to play and nobody wanted to work. So it wasn't until some people got eliminated that I could start recruiting.
So have you, I mean, at any point where you're like, listen, if I just sabotage a model or two, they'll scrub out quicker, and then I'll have a bigger staff.
Right? Yeah, it's tough because you want to root for your buddies, right? Well, I mean, not root because you're impartial, but like you want your friends to do well.
Yeah.
And then at the same time, it's like, look, I have all this talent, all this capability that would make my life easier, and I know I could lean on these people. And a couple of people did. They sacrificed the rest of their weekend and helped me out. Ryan from the Stabcast, and John Griffin, I had him all weekend, and he's a Chicago local there. And so awesome. Then we had some AdeptiCon staff helping me too. I mean, that's the neat thing about AdeptiCon is like, if you need help, you can ask AdeptiCon staff, and you'll get help. Like you're not alone. When I need something, I can reach out and somebody can help me out. And that's something as an event organizer I haven't experienced in too many places. Usually it's your bag, you're responsible for it, get it done.
Yeah.
And that's my attitude. I'm going to get it done. But just that ability to have like people that you can just be like, hey, can we get some assistance here? And then
I'll say
that's pretty cool.
I think we were probably pretty spoiled because that was our first convention experience, and I was like, wow, this is really like a family. Everyone knows each other. Everyone's super helpful. You can ask, and people will actually legitimately try to help you. I don't know if we're going to experience that.
Oh, we're going to get humbled so quick.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah, it's gonna.
I didn't hear a single thing you just said.
Oh no!
No. Pretty much, long story short, AdeptiCon is a great, and every other convention blows. And we're gonna get humbled real quick when we go and aren't catered to and treated like absolute babies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
And we're gonna actually have to put in some work. You know what I mean? And actually do the bare minimum, other than just be like, "Oh no, I need help," and we get it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, we got spoiled.
So
it's honestly a great experience. My only regret with AdeptiCon is that I didn't start it 10 years sooner. Though admittedly, I probably wouldn't have been ready 10 years sooner. So, like just from an experience standpoint. But yeah. I love it.
Hell yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So normally we start the show out with a segment called Games Played and Hobby Thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll kind of go around, and if there's anything in the hobby, assembling, painting, construction, that you've done, now's the time to share it. Chuck, I know you've kind of been a little bit busy. I know models kept showing up on my porch this week.
I mean, I assumed you said I didn't do anything. You, however, accomplished so much this week.
All right.
You got Rogue and you got Gambit done.
Mm-hmm.
And I was really impressed with your glow effect that you did on Gambit using your new pigment glow that you got from like dry pigments from Adepticon that you got. I'm surprised you had time to go by it, honestly, with how busy you were. And you painted up Rogue with the green outfit. That was interesting and different. And then the Rogue and the Gambit looked really good. And then you proceeded to just then follow it up.
Mm-hmm.
Know what I mean? Bringing in the fury and the frenzy. You got those two done. Honey Badger and X-23.
Mm-hmm.
Knocked those right out. It took you like an hour and a half.
Yeah.
You were finally like, well, I guess I should get this done, and then you banged it right out.
Right.
Couldn't believe it. You did a great job.
Listen,
just you know what? Oil wash works every time, doesn't it, bud?
Every time. It's like cheating. It's like I put in a game genie.
Pretty much. Liquid talent, they call it.
Yeah.
You know? And then you painted two more, and it's escaping me who it was.
Yeah, me too. Did I paint any sludge stuff?
No.
Did I paint?
No. I think I painted them a while ago, or you painted them a while ago. That was so close. You painted them a while ago, I think before we left for Adepticon, because there was 6 altogether.
Okay.
And then you had already done them and finished them.
Yeah.
I was very proud of you. Good job, buddy.
Listen, thanks, man. I did a great job. It's one of my favorite parts of the hobby.
Yeah, it's true. And you got Honey Badger together with no problem. You don't even understand what everybody was complaining about.
I don't. It's almost like I have literally zero frame of reference for what people are
I don't know. I was flabbergasted. But honestly, you did a great job, bud.
Thanks.
I'm proud of you.
Thanks, man.
Yeah. You want X-Force colors, right?
I did. Yeah, I really like the X-Force thematic.
Yeah.
So definitely went with those.
Yeah, it was like you didn't really have an idea, so you just ran with it.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's
proud of you, buddy.
When I'm at my best.
And then this weekend, you're gonna pull a Dan Cole all weekender, get Elektra, Shadowlands, Daredevil, and Nick Fury done because they come out this weekend.
That's true. Yeah, I will probably
get that tactical rope painted up.
And you know what? We're going to be doing a live show for Grim Podcast of Perilous Adventure this Saturday at Long Island Tabletop Expo.
There you go.
So the fact that I'm somehow going to get all of those models done
really
and get that
because you're gonna bring them on Monday,
right?
Yeah. So really proud of you, bud.
Well, I have a 5-hour drive each way alone with no help, so that'll be when I'll get
makes a lot of sense.
The most of my painting
makes a lot
done.
of sense.
Mr. Brendon, did you do any particular hobby stuff this week at all?
I did. Chuck did such a good job explaining what you did. Can Chuck cover what I've done? Because
maybe I could try. I'm gonna say you painted something.
Here we go, Chuck.
Oh, snap! Little BattleTech.
All right.
I love that. A nice red.
Yep. So, unfortunately, I can't get focus there, but that's a Valkyrie.
I was going to say Jaeger. Wasn't sure.
And then I've also got a Summoner that I've been working on.
Oh, yeah. That's red.
Unfortunately, this is not a professional camera here that I'm working with, but...
well, you're on the professional casual network, so if there's a time to have a webcam, it's now.
Yeah.
Right. But no, so I work at Monument Hobbies. We make pro acrylic paint and all that fun stuff, cheap plug. But when we get done on Friday nights, we play Marvel Crisis Protocol and BattleTech. And lately we've been kind of working on building a campaign. So I'm like prepping my mechs for that, while also trying to build up the motivation to assemble my X-Men, because I really want like my 90s X-Men team. I've always had a huge love of Storm. And so like, it was like, I need Storm, I need Wolverine, I probably need Cyclops.
Wow, that's a rude way to say that. Cyclops is absolutely necessary as the best X-Man.
It's one of my favorite affiliations to run, very honestly.
Yeah.
No, see, as a Boy Scout, I don't like the Boy Scouts, so I'm just saying.
All right, that's fair. Yeah. And granted,
but got Jean. I've got her assembled. I need to get some of those together, and in the meantime, I'll continue to run my Guardians team, which I need to finish painting that too. But
I'm a big fan of Guardians personally.
But I've been working on. By the way, I have recently decided that I don't like painting armies. I don't like building things.
You need a Chuck.
Yeah.
Yeah, I need a Chuck.
Yeah, who
clearly.
also hates
And-
doing all of those things, and they really hates it when he has to do it twice.
Yeah. But what I've decided is I do like painting characters, and I think that's what I like about MCP. And then the other thing that I'm kind of working on is I'm trying to learn / teach myself / learn from others wet blending and doing more of that. It's something I've never been good at. It's a skill I've never done. So I'm just trying to like grow that. And so fortunately, I got a bunch of miniatures at AdeptiCon that I can paint up, not worry about them. They're not for anything I'm planning on playing. And I've got tons of practice palettes. So
Rad.
Hell
if,
yeah.
if I could real quick, because I know Tim's not going to do it, I'm going to do a shameless plug for Money My Hobbies. It is probably one of the best hobby companies out there, especially with the Pro Acryl paint line. I know Tim uses it almost exclusively with all of his stuff. And his translucent line specifically is without question. Yeah. The translucent line without question is probably the best in the business for like translucent, like, contrast, instant speed paint, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
Some of the best. The pigment to translucency is phenomenal, and you do a great job every time, Tim.
Hey, thanks,
with your
man.
stuff. I'm really proud of you. So, shameless plug if we could get a sponsor. There we go.
I really like to underpaint and basically do all of my highlighting like an exaggerated zenithal. Basically, I mean, you could basically paint the thing in grayscale.
Yep.
And then pop over like Carnage here that I was just showing. He was basically done with all yellows and oranges. And then I put a transparent red over the top of it. And unfortunately, this isn't the best camera for that, but just that ability to just put it all there and then it brings it all together in one color with one spray like that. So it's not really, it's not an ink, it's not a glaze, it's its own monster, and I love the transparents. Yeah, I use them basically on everything I do.
They're absolutely fantastic. They look great every time that Tim does it, and I'm really proud of him. Also, best white in the business.
Oh.
The titanium white is probably one of the best whites I've ever used. It goes on fantastic every time. It's a phenomenal paint. If you love super matte, that's the way to go, man.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, super matte's like a regular matte, but like
Super.
it's like a super version of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it wears a cape.
Yeah.
So that was my thought, because I'm obviously an avid painter that does a lot of his own hobbying. So that was something.
Oh,
I would
also
definitely have known.
the dark silver and the bronze, probably the best metallics in the game. Like without question. Like within the industry, I use those on everything. They're my favorite.
Like a Frank's Red Hot of
literally a Frank's Red Hot. Maybe a Frank's Red Hot and a Cholula.
I love Cholula.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Favorite.
So let's get into it. So tonight, the main topic is we are going to be talking about and looking to maybe expand on some of the events and formats that we saw at AdeptiCon 2022 this year to see what are the tournaments that we're going to be wanting to run here locally at our LGSs. What should you guys at home be running at your LGSs? And how can we expand them, make them better, make them, more like the bronze metallic paint at Monument,
Right, exactly,
and less like the Crayola rose art colored pencils that I tried to paint my models with.
Right, it didn't work well for you, bud.
No, it didn't. No, it broke a lot of of parts.
Yeah, I'm proud of you.
But Chuck,
Yeah, I actually got 3.
you got 3?
I got 3. I'm gonna pitch all 3 to you and see how you feel about them. Well, first one's super quick and easy.
All right.
Super quick and easy. It's
So
called.
these are new formats.
These are 3 new formats
Okay.
because I didn't really understand the assignment. So I did 3 new formats.
Okay.
Yeah. But they're also ones that I've seen at other tournaments that I would love to bring in because I think they'd work really well with Marvel Crisis Protocol.
All right. And I think it's super perfect that we have Brendon here tonight too,
Yes.
because he has seen,
Right.
everything at this point.
Yeah.
I feel like.
So if you're not like me and you're almost exactly like Tim, this one's for you. This is the hyper competitive-ish style version called the Trios Tournament. So it's a you get into groups of 3, but you play single games. So it's kind of like a teams tournament, but you only play single, like 1v1 against other teams. You total up your points at the end of the game, and that goes to your total score. There's 5 rounds.
5 rounds.
5 rounds over 2 days. And you, I'm just
That's aggressive.
I'm just airballing stuff out.
Okay.
Yeah, just throw it. You could do 3 rounds in one day if you really wanted to, but the point being that
Don't do 4 rounds in one day for Legion. I'm just saying.
Yeah, don't do that. It sounds awful. And you're totaling up your points. The reason why I like this format so much is because you could be losing your game.
Yeah.
But if you're scoring high points, if it's like a 15-16 game, you're still putting 15 points towards your team score. Whoever has the highest team score at the end of the tournament wins, like they win. That's how you win. You're winning based on points, not on wins losses.
Yeah.
So this is why it's specifically designed for you. 2 reasons. 1, you're a numbers guy. You love the crunchiness. You love figuring out how much by game 3 everybody on your team needs to like score to keep in 3rd place, to get into 2nd place, things like that.
Yeah.
I know you. You're a numbers guy. You love to sit. You love to crunch. That's your thing. 2, and this is really where Tim's going to shine. At the end of the tournament, you will be able to go, man, I can't believe I just carried everybody this entire tournament and nobody offered to help me.
That is something I would say.
So that specifically is like one of my favorite format tournaments because I like the idea of like a team base that you don't have to rely. The game doesn't become longer. Mm-hmm. You're still playing the same game, but there's a new aspect to it where it's not like I don't want to forfeit at round 4 because I could potentially still
pick up
score,
a couple more points still.
Right, which could potentially make us win the tournament.
So I'm trying to beat that guy over there at that table.
Yep.
But I can do that by playing this guy over here.
Exactly.
I like it.
Yep.
Now,
yes.
And I'll play devil's advocate because I'm an event organizer.
And I am not, so this should be good.
It's what I do. So what do you do to factor in? And I tend to err on the side of play the objectives. Mm-hmm. But what about those guys who just wanna pound people into sand and take people out? And maybe that, turn 3 I've only got 5 points, mm-hmm. but I've got 2 KOs that are going to happen this round, and another 2 to 3 days is on the way. Like, how does that factor in? So, and do you care?
I mean, for me, no, because I am a bloodthirsty player. Like, I would rather just go for the KOs. Also, Marvel Crisis Protocol in general is very forgiving if you do play that way, because it is that has that swing factor to it where, like, yeah, I could be down 5 points in round 3, but round 4 I just scored 10 points because I KO'd, got you off all your objectives. I have everybody on points and I have 4 hammers on bullseye. You know what I mean? So
do you think you would add an additional victory point condition for dazing or KOing enemy characters?
No, I think you keep it the same exact way.
Okay.
I think you keep it a normal game, but the outside the confines of the game is how the tournament is essentially scored and ran.
All right.
So that's like my super Tim competitive crunchy side. Now we're going to go to mine.
Yeah.
This is the super casual fun and for a good cause. I love doing a good charity work.
Yeah.
We're doing the charity food drive tournament. The way this works is you bring a bunch of donations with you. 20 cans, 25 cans, however much you want. Mm-hmm. Each can has a value of 1. And throughout your game, you can proceed to donate a certain number of cans, each can having either a 1, a 3, a 5, or an X. So if I want to donate 1 can, 3 cans, 5 cans, or X cans, meaning any number, this allows you to do something within the game.
Okay.
So I donate. I've started working some stuff out. So donate 1 can.
I'm in. He doesn't have to pitch anything else. I'm in.
So we actually went to a tournament a bunch of years ago for a different game, and I think it was in Syracuse. And this was like the format, and we all fell in love with it.
Yeah.
So 1 can, you can re-roll 1 die.
Okay.
But you can only do this once because you don't want to essentially per turn.
So you have like a cap of how many points you could potentially spend either per round.
Yeah, you don't want to make it purely pay to win.
Right, exactly. But also, if I only bring 25 cans, I got to be picky and choosy of when I'm going to do this and when I'm not going to. I also had it at the 1 can level, gain 1 energy, but you can only do this once per turn. At the 3 can, I hadn't really figured out where I wanted to set things. What I thought was like needed more than 1 can, but was like not great if it was at 5. Like nobody would use it.
Yeah.
So I haven't figured out anything there. But 5 cans, if a character is KO'd, you can bring them back injured with 1 health left. So
Ooh,
essentially
like
getting
an advanced field dressing, but for KOs instead of dazes.
right. So you essentially are mitigating. Now 5 cans is a lot. Nobody wants to carry 5 cans. You know what I mean? So like, do you bring just like a wagon full of cans with you?
So
Who knows?
just to clarify, you're
Yeah.
having people redeem cans mid-game, not turning in all the cans as an entry and
For
then getting a
tickets.
bunch of tokens.
Right.
But no, I have 5 physical cans
Yeah.
right now that I'm using to
Yep.
redeem.
Yeah,
live.
and you have to go get a judge to have him mark it to say, "Yep, you can do this." You got to get a lot of judges. You know what I mean?
And so as a TO, Brendon,
No.
Okay, maybe you use tokens. Who knows?
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is actually like 100% similar to the very first game of Warhammer 40K I ever played,
Mhm.
and the local store in Omaha, which was the Game Shop, and I'll totally shout them out because I love them. If you're ever in that area, go to the Game Shop. Period.
If you're in
But,
the Oklahoma area.
Yeah.
Omaha, Nebraska.
Omaha,
Oh
sorry.
no, Omaha, Nebraska area.
Little closer to you guys. But they did a charity con, and they kept the store open basically from Friday through Sunday, 24/7. They did it for Munchkin, they did it for Warhammer, and I did a 5-on-5, 2,000 points per player on 3 tables. This was my first game of 40K ever.
That
I
literally
didn't even
gave me
have a rule book
shivers.
yet. And one guy brought a 200 orc boy squad, just one squad of 200 orc boys. That was his army. And that orc boy army did remain after the end of the game. But and basically, yeah, you could cash in canned goods for rerolls and for command points or whatever, anything like that. And I've tried to push at any store I've ever been involved with, like doing more events like this, because you're doing good for your community. It gives people an opportunity to be a little ridiculous, and plan and build for that. Obviously, as from an organizer, you want to keep it a little bit still so that it's a game and not just a dollar transaction. But
Right.
I adore it. I think it's a great way to do all the good things in the community, and people have a good time with it. So yes, this format has my approval.
I
But
love it.
Right.
get tickets.
Yeah. So okay, get tickets. My other 5 canner was regain a tactics card that you had already used this game. So essentially,
Okay.
getting to use your Book of Shumagrath in any army.
I like
Helios.
that. Oh,
I mean, 5 cans is a lot of cans, man.
that
If,
is.
if you're going
I'm
3
doing
games,
for how many cans do you want? Because I want to use Helios every turn.
exactly. I mean, you can do it. I'm not gonna stop you. You just gotta bring a car full of cans.
Yeah,
And
no,
then-
listen,
Put
Instacart
some
is getting
Infinity,
worked on that day.
Put some gems on Thanos and just AOE the whole board every turn.
Yeah. There you go.
I mean,
Kind of here for it.
yeah.
I'm in.
Yeah. And then my X cans was heal X damage
Okay.
on that character at the beginning of their activation. So I'll put a little bit of a cap on it, but so the idea being like yeah, let's say I bring 25 cans, I got 25 tickets, but that's over the entire tournament that I have to use these 25 cans or tokens or whatever.
Yeah. I like that a lot.
Yeah. I thought it's a good thing to run at like the beginning of November. Then you can donate all of the stuff to your local food pantry, and you do some good. It's nice to see when the hobby community can do some good out there.
Yeah, for real. I think you could even.
And I think just from a logistics standpoint, I would say double check with your food pantry, because some don't like canned goods; they prefer boxed goods.
Sure.
Due to weight and shelving issues. But
Right.
that's a different communication you could have as an organizer with your local pantry.
Agreed.
a great idea too.
Yeah, that was a very general can. Air
Yeah.
quotes.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
I just learned that recently, though, and I was like, huh.
Maybe that's what you
Most
give
people
out.
probably don't know that.
We get a bunch of like little 3D printed cans, and those are the
Ooh.
tokens that you can
There you go.
use.
Ooh.
Love that for you, bud.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Listen, we have a ton of cans of pumpkin puree that
Yeah.
we could
That's true.
we could do something
I
with.
got that too.
So
It's weird.
yeah,
I didn't know my mom shopped in your pantry.
she just shows up with a bag.
It's- it
She
doesn't-
kicks in the door. It's kind of weird.
Tracks. And then my last one, which is actually the one I would be most excited about to go to a tournament, is like a Survival of the Sickest tournament or a survival tournament, King of the Mountain, if kind of, I guess,
Yeah.
not King of the Mountain, I guess survival. The way this works is if your character becomes KO'd during the game, you cannot use them the rest of the tournament.
Oh,
So the way this works is
Wow.
you build your normal roster, you build your 3 crises, 10 tactics, 10 characters. Let's say Tim and I are playing at the end of the first round. Let's say you KO'd 2 of my characters in this game.
yeah.
I now can only, when I go to game 2, can only pick 8 from my roster to build my squad for the next game.
Okay.
So it's fun in the sense of like it feeds bloodthirsty people and it kind of
Yeah.
like weeds them out, but you still got win-loss basis and you technically have reserves. But what I really, really like is the idea of as you go on, have you played smartly? Have you backed off when you needed to back off because you needed this character for the next round? Do you play low crisis to try to keep your numbers of characters on the field low? Or do you play high crisis in hopes that you can kind of mitigate the amount of damage going across the board?
So I will say initially when you pitched this, I
Yeah.
hated it.
Yeah, I know you did.
Like-
You really did.
But the more I thought about it, I've really 180'd on it pretty hard.
Yeah.
Because it gives us against type play that we don't
Mm-hmm.
normally see in tournaments. You're actually going to be a little bit more heavily weighted on the higher threat characters.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of tournament lists and stuff kind of go wide.
Mm-hmm.
Your bullseye is now your most valuable asset that you want to keep super safe because he is very easy to take out
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
completely, and then he's gone
Ba-
for the rest of the tournament.
bodyguards become crucial, but also
Yeah.
very strategic. And that is it worth bodyguarding anymore?
Mhm.
You know, I did, and then I had two things.
Yeah.
One, just to make everybody mad, you ban field dressing from the tournament, but you bring back all you got.
Ooh. Ooh. Oh, it's spicy. I like it. Okay.
So
I'm in.
do you play all you got? Is it worth it to you?
I'm in.
Is it worth your physical and mental health to be allowed to bring back for one more time all you got,
Wow.
but you don't have field dressing
Wow.
anymore?
All right. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yep, you sold me on it. Actually, I like it because one thing for BattleTech in particular is like you don't want to lose your pilot.
Yep.
Right. And this is something that I bring into like RPGs when I play and when I run them is preservation and conservation of life.
Mhm.
Like you're not just going to throw yourself out there knowing that you can get revived or healed or whatever. Like stand behind cover, run from a fight,
Mhm.
survive, and you're doing that in a tournament environment now.
Yeah.
And I like that.
Yeah, and I think there's like 3 kind of like characters that we don't normally see get played. I think Wong now becomes very vital because he can heal. I think Hood is in everybody's list now because he
Yeah.
can, he has that healing factor ability. I think Dark Dimension with their tactics card that allow you to bring back a KO'd character
Yeah.
is really, really good now.
Well, and Dark Dimension goes one of 2 ways, right?
Yeah.
Like, it's a little risky because you could be putting a bunch of extra damage out on your characters. It could, in fact, that affiliation ability could KO
yeah,
one of your
could
characters
potentially,
for you.
kill you.
But Dark Restoration's right there.
Right, no breathing
No breathing.
until you're breathing again.
Correct.
That's kind of the point of the card.
Yeah.
And then also, I forgot what my other point was.
I think it makes characters with invulnerabilities a lot more useful. I think
Yeah.
you see a lot more Luke Cage or Colossus.
That's what it was. I think unaffiliated becomes your primary goal. I don't think you worry about affiliations anymore.
I think making you becomes your opponent's primary goal because he could kill your leader,
Right.
and then you could have no
Right.
affiliation leader.
And then
for
you
the
have
rest
no
of the tournament.
affiliation leader, which means you can still use your tactics cards, but
Yeah.
like maybe you just bring good stuff. You know what I mean? Like you don't worry about affiliations anymore. So you don't lose your affiliation ability right off the bat, game 1.
Yeah.
I think unaffiliated, I think it makes list building completely different.
And you know who it brings back into the fold is Asgard.
Yeah.
A little bit of a heal or
Odin's blessing becomes crucial to this game.
And they've just got so much power generation
Yep.
naturally that you're just like
Mhm.
dropping the hammer.
Yeah.
I think you might have to skim and add some stuff to the restricted list. Tactics wise, I think maybe like Helios Cannon probably has to become a restricted card. Things that do significant amount of damage have to become restricted. Just for plotting purposes. But at the same time, I love a good Helios.
All right, I'll hit you with this.
Yeah.
If characters can be removed, what if you only get 10 tactics cards for the whole tournament?
Total.
Ooh.
Like you drop a tactics card and you can't use it again.
I kind of love that too. Danny would win because she doesn't use tactics cards to begin with. I kind of like that. It really makes you have to figure out when you're going to play your tactics cards.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah, I guess I don't hate that at all.
No.
And then you don't have to worry about restricting anything.
Because
you've only got one Helios Cannon for the whole day.
Oh, I do like that. Does Convocation
No breathing
become your new favorite thing because they had the ability to bring stuff back?
Yeah, I think so. Absolutely. Or,
I think
or Brotherhood with Magneto's cover tactics cards that comes back at the end of the round.
I also think, actually, now something about it, Convocation being you having the ability to choose who becomes your affiliation leader becomes very strong.
Oh gosh, yeah.
Yeah. Because I lost
Strange
Mordo.
is gone, but listen,
Mordo.
Cleo's leading this bad boy now.
Exactly.
You know.
So I think in its infancy, I think it has potential of doing a lot of really cool, interesting things that I think any convention could turn it into the MCP draw.
Yeah,
I think it potentially could be a huge draw.
What's the name? Do you just go full wrestling and call it Survivor Series?
Oh, for sure.
Okay.
Yeah. Yep.
What do you call the can drive or the item drive tournament? Heroes for Hire.
Oh, that's actually perfect. Yeah, that actually makes a lot of sense.
Okay.
I was going to come up with something like more festive-y, but Heroes for Hire actually, I mean, good job, Justine. That was a great idea.
And the first one you suggested, what's that one called?
Oh, Trios Tournament.
Oh, Trios.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which is a wrestling reference again. So.
Well, no, it's perfect. So I'm gonna go a little bit different with mine, and I'm just gonna take two existing ideas out there, and
which I think is great. That's why
them.
we work so well together.
Right, and just mash them together. So I want to see effectively a combination of the team up event that we saw at Adepticon, but mix it with the 3-box challenge. So it is a co-op versus a team game, similar to how the team up was, but you are allowed the core box, and then each player on the team gets 2 boxes to be able to add additional tactics cards and Crisis Eye.
I don't hate that.
Right?
Crises?
Crises? Chrysolves. I think it's like wolves. It goes with a VES.
I've heard
plural.
That. Yeah. In the team tournament at Adepticon, were teams allowed to have the same character twice between the two? Okay, I wasn't sure.
And both people picked their rosters completely separately.
Okay.
So they got 7 slots for characters, and then 5 tactics cards each. Gotcha. They could bring 6 to a game.
Okay. All right.
But I think I loved the team up format at Adepticon this year. Like, absolutely adored it. And I think adding that effectively a tango of 2 boxes to it add some really unique decisions without making it too much. I think 3 boxes for each player is too much. You're adding 6 boxes to the core box. I mean, you can pretty much just play whatever you want at that point.
Yeah.
But 2,
and 1 is too few.
Right. Well, and especially with characters like Kingpin, it's like if you want to run Criminal Syndicate, Kingpin being a solo box taking up a quarter of your team's effective resource pool, that's a commitment.
Yeah. Venom.
Yeah, same there. Or MODOK or Hulk, She-Hulk.
Star-Lord. Like, Star-Lord's by himself.
Yeah.
You know, stuff like that.
I'd even consider doing it 5 boxes per team. Each player picks out 2, but then you kind of have a free-floating single character box just to make that easier. But I guess I'm not even positive it needs it. Yeah. I think keeping it a little bit more conservative to 4 boxes total is still a lot. And if you're working with your partner, I mean, you'll be making those decisions together.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I like it.
But the way the team-up event worked at Adepticon was you used standard Crisis Eye, and then you added 6 threat to that to be able to make the combined roster. You had 10 tactics cards between the 2 players, but you boiled down to 6 instead of 5. And I think you keep those right intact too.
Yeah. I agree. I think it's good.
But that's where I'm at with it.
All right. I like
I
it.
like it.
And you call it the twin turbo team up tournament, Tim. Tag team. Terrific.
The tantalizing? Throw a tantalizing. In there.
Yeah, the tantalizing twin turbo team tactics team up for Tango to Tabanero.
For charity.
For
Fun run.
Fun run.
Yeah.
2000.
Yeah. Yep.
Yep.
Oh, 2000. I like that. Okay.
With tacos.
And tacos, yeah.
Oh yeah. Tacos. Yeah. You offer to let the taco truck park outside the store. You know what I mean?
Correct.
Yeah. You got to.
Absolutely. So I'll follow up on your team idea.
Yeah.
And so this is something that I'm completely ripping off Dion from the Gold Squadron. And I want to do it for Legion. And I think, honestly, with the team up event in a slightly adjusted format, and I don't have the details, I'm going to bring a stick, you bring a rock, we'll hammer it out. So what he does for duos, the whole principle behind it is that you go into an event, you bring your list, and it's a team event where every round you get partnered with a new player. And the idea behind it is it's purely from a social manipulation standpoint. Now, instead of meeting one person across the table or two people across the table who you may or may not talk to that much, all of a sudden now you're forced to interact with 3 new people every round, and you don't know what your partner is going to be. And so, like, from a list building standpoint, do you bring a workhorse like a juggernaut who's going to run through things by themselves? Or do you bring a list that's a commander that's going to provide buffs and support and make whatever shows up next to you better than it is? Like, strategically, do you plan for that or not? And that's your decision. And I want to do it with Legion because then you now have an opportunity that you could have some crazy separatists partnering up with, the Empire or something. Because the normal formats don't allow that. But now you've got this opportunity for crazy, wacky, silly. People are having a good time. Nonsense is happening. And that's the whole point.
So I adore that, actually.
Yeah.
Like, I like that a lot. Like a scramble. Almost. Yeah. And you know what you could do too? You could even just mix it with the what if event. Just really throw it to the wolves as far as randomness. Not only are you showing up with effectively just a random bunch of dudes that you drafted, you're also getting matched up with and against other random wacky lists the entire time.
Yeah.
I adore that. Like, I love that a lot.
And if you know that's the nonsense you're getting into, that's the expectation.
Yeah.
Right? And so you've set that bar for nonsense. So I feel like people are going to be a lot more agreeable to it.
Yeah. Yep. I completely agree. I adore that. Like, I love that. I want to run that, like, right now. I want to be playing that, like, this weekend.
The only reason we didn't do it for Legion at AdeptiCon is because I had already published the information and we had to get those schedules out. And I was like, it's too late in the game to make that amendment and try and explain it to people and get it out so that everybody can have that communication. That's the only reason I didn't do it.
2023, though. Potential.
Yeah.
Total credit to Dion and the Gold Squadron guys.
For real. I mean, shout out to those guys.
Yeah.
We only got to see Dion very briefly at AdeptiCon because he was...
Heard him the whole time, though.
We did hear him a lot.
Yep.
But, dude, he was crushing it. His setup and his backdrops and stuff looked incredible.
Oh, yeah.
But
I didn't even know... we don't have an X-Wing community here, so I didn't know that X-Wing was as popular, because I think they had gosh darn near as many tables as anything else. For a game that, again, like, locally is not played,
right?
Or if it is, it's very few people.
Yeah.
But
had been very big, especially in first edition.
Yeah, it was really big in first edition. And just like how rabid and diehard they are for the game. That community is for the game. So it's awesome.
Yeah, it's not Attitude Era X-Wing, but like they're definitely holding down the fort and they're making it happen.
Yeah.
Appreciate that.
like they are. I have a lot of respect for those guys and what they do, and they're carrying that banner and they're doing amazing things with it.
Yeah.
Speaking of, is there anyone that you really want to shout out that you had a very good experience with at Adepticon that was just like, number one, either these people made my life and my experience significantly easier, or that you just thought were absolutely killing it?
Me, I mean, honestly, meeting you guys was great. But
Wow.
I mean, I
This
mean,
is really
you know,
uncomfortable. We don't like that.
sorry, I didn't know that. I'm sorry, I didn't get the memo that praise was not allowed on here. Obviously, you know, you guys were great to meet. Honestly, you know, the core set of TOs for that Asmodee group. So Dion, myself, Derek, Mike Tisdale, part of the Adepticon staff. You know, we've been working with Hank, the head of Adepticon, and I mean, just all that love, all that support, all that family. I know Mike had a great team running all the MCP stuff.
Mr.
Like-
Tisdale is how he prefers to be.
Yeah.
Mr. Sorry.
Mr.
So,
Tisdale.
yeah, so I mean, all those guys were honestly really good. You know, Tim was over there running things, Charles, Liam. You know, we also had Adam and Joe and Abby and Matt. I mean, it was just like, and those are all, everybody I just listed there, that's all Adepticon staff, right?
Yeah.
Like those weren't people who were brought in. I don't mean that in like a negative, but that's like how much the Adepticon staff just loves MCP in general. The whole terrain team behind it, like that's a room full of
gosh.
people
Yeah.
who spent goodness knows how many hours, you know, airbrushing and painting up all that terrain for everything. And I mean, that's what Adepticon really is for me, is it's just that family of like everybody stepping in, everybody bringing it all together. And it's very clear that there's a lot of love just within the Adepticon staff for MCP. And that's why everybody was hanging out there. I mean, the table for the MCP TO station was just packed all weekend.
Yeah.
With people helping out and doing stuff. You know, I had Sarge and Kate and John Griffin and Ryan Solowski, you know, running my stuff. And those guys saved me. I mean, at one point, John put me to bed like, Dad. He's like, go to bed. I've got this. I'll clean up. You just go to bed. And, you know, he sent me to bed. And Tina over in registration, she's my Adepticon mom. She told me to sit down and eat my food before it gets cold, you know, because I was running around too much, but, you know, that's just the kind of group that it is just all that support, all that love. And frankly, I look forward to the next one. That's just,
Yeah, for real.
Yeah.
I do think
I need a break, but I look forward to the next one.
I do think in the background, both for you and Nick Gardner, we needed like lap counters just to see how many times you guys passed by. Because, I mean, you guys put in steps.
Yeah, you guys got your steps.
I did. I actually pulled up my health tracker, and it was nuts. Just like my week before, my week after, and then just Adepticon week, all my bars are through the roof. And yeah, it's crazy.
I can imagine.
Yeah.
I lost it. I had something like super important in my head. It was there. It was probably chocolate coated. Probably had like a little dusting of hazelnuts over it, and like a little
treat.
Like a little gold foil wrapper too. But
there you go.
It's gone.
Oh, I'm sorry, buddy.
Yep. Encasing a hazelnut probably as well. Has a
I
real
do love a Ferrero Rocher.
Yeah, I can't say it. Every time I try to say that word, I
Yeah.
almost tried there.
Yeah, my mom goes Ferrero Roros.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Ferrero Rocher. You uncultured swine.
Ferrero Rocher.
Yeah. It's delicious.
Lamborghini.
Yep.
All right. We figured it out.
Proud of you, bud.
Thank you, man. Now, out of all of the stuff, out of all the different formats that we've mentioned tonight, and we'll go around quick. Everyone will answer.
Connected. There we go. I got you back.
Okay.
Oh,
I lost you for a second there, like total freeze, and then it told me Bluetooth reconnected. So.
Oh. So here's the good news. You got to miss me trying to say Ferrero Rocher.
Yeah, it's true. That's all that happened.
But we'll go around really quick, and we will. What out of all of the different formats that we've talked about tonight would be your number one to try to implement right away that you would be excited to play in, and which one do you think would be the hardest and most difficult one to TO for?
I'll go first. So I am not a TO, so any of these would be very difficult for me
Right.
to do. I was asked to do it one time, and I magically had to work. It's crazy how that works.
Yeah, it's super weird that everyone else backed out of that too, and it was just me and Anthony there.
Yep,
But
it tracks. But I would say I think the survival mode, version, I think that's my favorite. But I really do like, I really do like that like team tournament kind of round robin mystery.
yeah,
Like,
right.
Yeah, I would not have any idea how to run that, but I would love to be a part of it. But something like survival mode, I think, would be an easy thing for me to actually be able to do, and I think would actually go over really well. I think it would be like you could run that day one next to What If.
Right.
Make it a limit. Don't allow 70 people. It could be brutal, but
Well, and maybe that's
Would you even potentially like shorten the later rounds, just anticipating attrition?
yeah, honestly, maybe, yeah.
I think you have a great opportunity there to give out some really good like sportsmanships awards and
Yeah,
stuff
that
like
too.
that. Like
Yeah.
everyone votes for their favorite person that they got teamed up with. You can only vote for others or things along those lines. And honestly, I think that's a great like final day tournament too.
Yeah.
Especially you have like a big 2-day singles tournament or team tournament going on. Like that's the one you throw in on a Sunday so that people that don't have anything else going on can play in that. It is kind of a stress reliever. You're just blowing off steam and having a good time with whoever's around.
Yep. Agreed.
I think that one is by leaps and bounds the one that I want to play in like immediately. Is the What If scramble, superhero scramble or whatever.
Yeah.
The one that I would not want to TO in any way, shape, or form would be the Survivor Series. Because I don't want to have to like keep track of who's used what tactics cards and what characters are dead and gone.
Right.
And he used Dark Restoration during the middle of this, so he was really back around. And you have some people that I forgot I used that in round one, and like
Sure.
I don't want to.
I feel like you have to print the tactics cards and tear them up.
Yep.
Like you physically tear them up when you're done.
Yeah, it's possible.
Like-
I could see that.
Or get like big bingo stampers, like blotters that
Yeah.
just in your opponent has to
Honestly,
cross them off or something.
like maybe just provide sleeves to them and then get a stamp that says like used
yeah,
or something like that. I think would be fair.
yeah, I like that. All right, Brendon, what one do you want to play in, and what one do you absolutely not want to run?
So as a TO, I think how many emails and how many questions am I going to get? And so I think, I obviously I love the charity aspect. So that's a real strong contender for me. I really like the elimination one because I think it presents a lot of different opportunities, but I'm always looking for that casual. So I think I want some sort of team event. And maybe even we did it for Legion, and we're trying to push it more, like throw in some team spirit. So like people are dressing up, if you're doing a team event, have people dress up together, or things like that. Anything you can do that's not even game related to make the event more fun, I think is a win. I think the drafting mechanic, while awesome, I think is actually one of the hardest as a TO, because not only do you have to source all those miniatures, whether or not you want to own that miniature or not, but now you also need to have it painted. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, it was either like dominantly Mike Tisdale's or a collection of like other donations from the staff.
I believe it was all Mike.
They were all Mr.
I think it was all Mr. Tisdale's. So I think it was all his, and so I mean that's a financial risk. You're looking at do your miniatures walk off, anything like that, damage to your stuff. So I think logistically that's the most nightmarish, but I think it's also one of the most fun and amazing parts too, as a hobbyist who puts a lot of love into things. So I think that's the one that I look forward to the least organizationally, but also I think is super fun. So
I
thought it was an amazing event. I was watching everybody like picking, and I was like, this looks awesome.
So we were speaking to Mr. Tisdale afterwards about things that we might be able to do differently, specifically with that event, and it was like we need cameras on the draft. We need that up on the stage. That's a huge, awesome spectacle to behold. I think that would be an awesome addition there.
Agreed.
And
it'd be fun to comment on too, right? I think you'd have a great opportunity just in the booth.
Well, and we had Taylor running back and forth between us on the stream setup and who was picking, like, just dashing over and being like, okay, the guy that was playing Brotherhood also took Black Panther, and then would like run back and then we'd talk about that. It was a little scrambly, but it was like day one and it was a lot of fun. But yeah, being able to see those choices firsthand too would provide a little bit more information, which would be cool. The other thing too is and Mike had brought this up, was probably shortening the timer to pick. Like, you get a minute, especially for those first few where it's like, I think you could spend a long time deliberating, probably in the early and certainly in the middle, about what's going to fit with your roster, your leaders, or things like that pretty quickly. But I love the draft.
I was joking with my other Legion TOs. I'm super opposed to chess clocks fundamentally for like 100 different reasons.
Yeah.
But having chess clocks for turn 0 and setup for players, you might be able to sway me on that one.
Okay.
Like, just to get the game going.
Yeah.
Right? Because I feel like sometimes people can get stuck just setting up.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have no time to actually play the game.
Yep.
I despise chess clocks with a passion, but like some sort of timer during setup would maybe help remind people that we have only X amount of time to get this done.
I really like that a lot, especially because no one, especially once you're in the game, you don't want your game decided by where it was towards the end of a round or at the end of a turn. So I think that's very motivating to get the flow going, because especially you're meeting someone new, you don't know if you've played against this guy before, you're setting up, you're doing all that stuff, getting that a little bit more streamlined, a little bit quicker. Yeah, I think.
Yeah, or if you get two community guys who are like really good friends and they spend more time talking than actually setting up their game.
Yeah.
Like, it's cool, but we got a game to play, guys.
Yeah. What we need in minis games as a whole is effectively like a machine that would set up the game like a bowling alley pin retrieval, where it wipes everything into the trash and then it goes in. It's all like little holes up towards the top, kind of like a really complicated Rube Goldberg machine, and then it all just kind of like funnels down and goes right back in the same place. So that's the thing we need to get.
Hey, you build it and I'll help set it up.
Yeah, Chuck, if you could get that going and just give me credit for it, I'd really appreciate that.
Yeah, I'll work on that. Sure.
Thanks, man.
Yeah.
And we're gonna need 64 of them.
Good point. Yeah, I'll get on that for next year, for sure.
You heard it here first, guys. It's canon.
Go.
But
never follow through on anything else I've ever made a promise on, so don't worry about it.
Hey, you physically brought... Well, no, you didn't.
I didn't. I don't know what it could be that you could even begin. I didn't even offer to drive.
That's true. That's I made that very clear.
Yeah.
But I was going to say that you did, in fact, remember to bring Ravensguard his big chucker card, but you did forget it.
I did forget it and made the Coles bring it.
And the Coles brought it.
100%.
Yep. But, guys, I think that's time. That is time for this week. Brendon, thank you so much for being here, and thank you so much for making our AdeptiCon experience absolutely world class.
Well, I appreciate you guys too. Obviously, meeting you guys was one of my highlights, but I'm not going to say that too loud so you can hear it. But
thank you, because otherwise this will be the last time.
Right. Well, that's why I didn't watch any of your streams before coming on here, because I heard that it would exclude me from being eligible.
Yes, that is how we know you're a true fan, because you've never watched any of our content. The second you do, we hate you.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. So, I appreciate that you have standards. So this is probably the first and last episode I'll ever watch, and that's fine.
Much like how I do. I only watch the ones that I'm actually on. So I don't know what goes on when I'm not here.
Yeah, that's very true. But I think that we will probably be, hopefully, maybe seeing Mr. Brendon here again shortly. But for now, please make sure to, don't forget, go leave that little subscribe, that like. If you're listening to the podcast version, make sure to head over to the Fifth Trooper podcast and leave a 5-star review for Wait, Did I Roll a Wild there. Let them know we sent you. And let Jay know that, listen, he's doing a great job, and we're excited to, be owned by him.
Yep.
So... make sure also check out professionalcasual.com, where you can find all of our actual plays. You can find more on Big Chuck or myself or Elite Eight Showdown. You can find links to all of our great stuff there, as well to the Patreon or the merch store or the YouTube or the Twitter or the Twitch or what's that other thing we do?
TikTok.
That one. Orange flavored. So they're kind of chewy. They're not as minty as the other ones on the TikToks.
I like that.
But
I'm an orange guy.
you're not a big orange guy?
No, I am.
Oh,
Yeah.
same.
I prefer fruit over mint personally. And cinnamon overall.
Wow, I don't like you at all anymore.
That's
Cinnamon's the worst flavor. It's the worst gum.
I-
It's the worst
so
mint. Like, I'm so done with
I
you right
started it as a joke and would just slowly eat it in front of people.
now.
And then it proceeded to that I just kind of gave myself Stockholm syndrome and actually just kind of started liking it. But then I was starting to get chemical burns in my mouth from it because it's so strong that I had to stop eating it, and now I kind of miss it.
I have doubled down on shtick before too,
Yep.
and ended up.
It's true.
like, yep. It's
So
So
chemical burns.
yeah.
Yep.
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 For whatever reason, like in high school, I was like, oh yeah, flat soda's the best. I call it flop because it's flat pop, and just mix it all in one bottle and I'll drink it. And I did that for a long time. And then one day I was like, this is gross. Why am I doing this?
Suicide at the fountain machine was not as
Exactly.
cool as everybody made it out to be.
It really wasn't, especially at Boy Scout camp with the slushy machine or the slush puppies. Mix them all together. It's great. No, it wasn't. It was just brown.
Yeah.
Wasted a lot of money on this.
I had to layer it, man.
Pina colada in with like blue raspberry and stuff is like okay until you also add green apple and grape and
Yeah.
fruit punch and cherry. It's just not. It's
You
not a
didn't
good
layer
thing.
it? You mixed it all together?
Well, no, the machine was behind the counter, so you told them what you wanted.
That's
We
dumb.
didn't get to mix your own. They didn't trust us. I was just a weeblo, bro.
That's true.
But that said, thank you so much. We'll see you next week. And this upcoming Monday,
Yeah.
Taylor will be on, the Power Phase at twitch.tv/
A tactical tailor's being deployed.
a tactical Taylor at that twitch.tv/ professional casual network where we'll be playing some live Marvel Crisis Protocol after coming back from doing a live show.
Yeah.
And at the Long Island Tabletop
You gonna-
Expo.
It's you versus Taylor?
It is me versus Taylor.
So he's a Dazzler and you're a Black Bolt?
Gosh, I hope not. That sounds like it
Your
would
head
hurt.
explode.
But guys, thank you so much. We'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.